Hi, I'm Keegan, and this is A Bunch of Gamers. This is our 203rd episode of Werewolf the Apocalypse 20th Anniversary Edition, Fire on the Mountain. I'm going to go around and have my players introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Sam. I play Cora. She's an Aruna in the Get of Fenris.
Hi, I'm Adam. I play Mark Guides the Fallen, and he's a third of the Children of Gaia.
Hi, I'm Sean. I play Zeb Speaks-in-Sweet-Whispers. He is a Theurge of the Silent Striders.
Hello, my name is Riley, and I am playing Dimitri Howls-In-Memory, Lupus Galliard of the Bone Gnawers.
Hi, my name is George. I am playing William Grows-Matrices. He is a rune of the Glasswalkers.
Last time, the packs had to complete their task set out by a spirit that had aided them when infiltrating the rich ranch, where several senators and congressmen were vanquished by the packs. Going into the prison, the packs faced several challenges, but in the end were able to release many of the prisoners and kill the warden. The packs now must return home as nuclear war has started to engulf the United States in its ongoing war with China. Through various lockdowns, the Umbra being relatively unsafe given the electrically charged emotional state of a nation that just had several nuclear devices fall on them, it takes about 2 weeks to return to Sacred Stone. Sacred Stone is bloodied, but not broken nor beaten. Though, Zeb, looking into the Umbra, there are bane storms over Colorado Springs as the constant fear in the people, especially given the number of military bases in the city, constantly provokes anxiety after anxiety and anxiety in people. As you start to return, and you see Steven going, "Guys, hey, welcome back," as he comes up, picks up Cora and Dimitri in a giant, bear hug and swings them before, putting his head in between both of their shoulders and takes a deep breath and a sigh.
I'll wrap my free hand, the one that's not squished up against Dimitri, around him, and hey, how's it? Pretty bad, huh?
Stressful, yeah. The city is fucking over the local homeless again through all this. Because the homeless have been constantly getting thrown in jails, things like that, as spies, things like that, with this whole work camp thing. To prove their patriotism, a lot of them are being told that they can put on hazmat gear that they're not properly trained in to start cleaning up some of the nuclear debris across the area to make sure that America stays safe.
So they just created more slave labor.
Yeah, basically. It's, work where you have the gun against your head and get sent to a munitions factory because you're a terrorist. As he puts Dimitri and Cora down.
Did we lose anyone?
None of the Garu, thankfully. No one was in that area. But everyone's been stretched thin, and we've been lucky so far, but given the amount of banes coming out of the city itself, the fact that the nuke has created several balefire element banes that jump around, I think it's only a matter of time. Looked like a big old pillar of light. Wild.
Well, how can we help?
I'm not sure. I'd maybe look around town, help people there, see what the kin need. I mean, fighting off banes is always a good choice as well.
I imagine the front line of that is closer towards the explosion site.
Only some. Like I said, the city proper's got plenty of banes now. The fear and hate people have creates them just as readily as the balefire banes now.
I think we know what we need to do. As it breeds in our city, we must slay it.
Well, the kinfolk are also going to need help as well.
Keegan, would it be safe to assume that maybe the kin might be a little better off than previously because we got, the end with the police and the vampires now?
That's assuming how much you trust the vampires.
I think we should go check up on the kin.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We can check up on the kin, and if we come across any banes or nests of the worm along the way, we can take care of that as we go.
I would I want to speak with Fate Dancer while I'm here because I want to determine which one's the more existential threat to the cairn and decide if we're going to try to mount something a little bit more in depth. So if you all go check on the kin, I would say focus around the Banes that are in their area and try to clear some of them out for their own personal safety, because at least to make sure there aren't threats being directed toward them, because again, Banes affect kin too, right? So if you're going to do that, let's take care of that. And if you get an idea of just how bad things are, we can make a plan to do something a little bit more intense.
Of course, will do, Elder.
So, Zeb, you get to Fate Dancer. She's speaking with some of the elders before she finally breaks off and gives you a respectful nod. Speaks in sweet whispers.
Fate Dancer, youth. Glad you're well enough.
You
Trying to determine which spot to go for first. I'm worried about these Pillar of Light Bane spirits as a result of the nuke that could appear at any moment.
Me as well. They are terrifying, and any Fomori they create is likely equally so.
Do we know how many? Do you have a guess at how many were manifested as a result of that blast?
Several hundred, if not a few thousand, of varying strengths.
Right. I've had my pack and those of Guards the Low go and check on some of the kinfolk in town and at least look at just how bad maybe some of the Banes are directly around them. But I feel like I assess that these light spirits are the ones that are the biggest threat to the Sept. Would you agree?
I would. There's radiation coming through, wafting in. It's tingling the edges of the cairn, weakening it. Nuclear war is seen as the final end of humanity, and thus makes it difficult to have visions of the future, the lifeblood of this cairn.
No, understood. And it's the one thing that everything is afraid of. It's the ultimate power that humanity was able to make manifest. I'm going to try to focus on that then, and see if there's a way to try to mitigate or destroy some of these. It'll be a first.
Yes. There are many. The fumelings that were created are defeatable, but there are stronger versions now running about that are fresh, so to speak.
They're coming from the place where the blast actually occurred, I take it. It's still forming them.
Yes.
So that would need to be the spot.
Yes.
Okay. Unless you think the elders are going to have an issue with it, I will go and take a look and then see what can be done to try to stop this.
Yes, that sounds fine by me.
All right then.
All right.
And I will do that separately, Keegan, but it'll be, all the stealth stuff, all the things to be invisible to Banes, etc.
Sure.
For Zeb to be able to go out there and take a look and come back.
Alrighty. So, meanwhile, you guys spend a couple hours getting back into the town proper. Excuse me. And you visit several of the kin. There's Brian, new one. There's Brian. There's various kin here, as they are a bit shaken, obviously, given the entire situation.
Yes, Dimitri will just kind of do a general checkup, like, are they good on food? Do they need, any, alternative sources of water? Is contamination of water a concern?
There is some, so Tim and Hank, who are trying to run their mutual aid group, are talking about that. They've had to go drive out of the city, or driving out of the city to try and pick up crates of water, given that the radiation is still a risk for some of the stuff here, the groundwater, especially in the Manitou area, because there is a spring that feeds the entire water system there.
Is there anyone that needs medical attention? I could heal them.
They're in the hospital now if they are. But no, some people got cuts from glass, things like that, from shockwave breaking windows, some of the houses nearby. But given the size of the nuclear weapon, most of the kin avoided. Several regular people, though, it's not a nice way of putting it, but they were microwaved close enough to the blast. Some of them lived, but their skin didn't really want to stay where it was when people tried to pick them up. Now there's just the risk of radiation sickness in the area and the increased cancer risk for everyone living here.
William, do you have any contacts that maybe you could help set up like a supply chain for any water and food that the people need here? I think the least I can do for now is tune up any cars that might need it.
I might have a contact. I can reach out to a contact at the Colorado Anarchist Group. They were the ones that were trying to help with the HOA nonsense that a few of the other kin were dealing with. They might be able to help bring in some fresh water supply.
Sure. Yeah, that would be helpful. If you could get a hold of them, bring stuff down, that'd be really great.
Let me go ahead and make a few calls.
Make a few calls, and it sounds like they can try and get something down here. They'll try and contact some local businesses, things like that, that'll help donate things.
And while you and Dimitri deal with that, Cora and I can go into the Umbra, and we can begin examining the Banes in their presence here.
Sure. Stepping sideways is Diff 6 here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I've got 8.
I have 8 as well.
Okay, you go. My rolls are terrible.
Oh, that's a 0, isn't it?
It sure is.
Well, shoot, that's a little embarrassing. We shall try again.
That'll take an hour.
All right.
Alright, takes about 30 seconds to pass through, so an hour and 30 seconds you're in the Umbra. There are various banes of fear, panic, hatred. There's a rolling spirit of gibbering mouths, its teeth in various flecks of red, white, and blue, its skin incredibly pale with long arms still with the gibbering mouths, spewing slurs every which direction, and talking nationalist messages.
Is there anything immediately threatening the house, like on top or around the yard?
There's some in the yard. The Banes are just hanging about. Like, they are looking for targets that will have moments of weakness. And the second that they have that weakness, that spirit will try and possess the person and turn them into a Fomori. That is what's happening all over this neighborhood.
I'm gonna get a list of the types of Banes that I see, and where they're gathering, I think is the better word, where they're gathering, mostly, because I know that they're not gonna be like in groups, like, let's go to the bar and party type groups, like stick together. But
Sure.
I'm gonna try and get like a rough estimate of like what they're doing, where they're going, like how
Sure.
they're interacting and stuff like that, just to see how like we can most effectively take care of the problem, at least in this area, once we have everyone together.
Okay. So you do see that there's a lot of swarms of bitter rages, as well as a few scrags, which is concerning, as scrags are spirits of murderous intent and violence that you know of. You do see 1 or 2 fumelings, which are balefire spirits, and then you see at least 5 or 6 of the mouth ones moving about, and they seem to be balancing between various homes, and they almost move cyclically to see. So the bitter rages move through, then the gibbering mouth ones, and then the scrag ones, while the fumelings seem to be doing their own thing, just bouncing erratically from home to home.
Okay. Kind of. So the bitters, the rolling mouths, and the scrags are kind of like a patrol. Like they kind of look like they're patrolling.
Kind of like they're moving in a kind of pattern, weaving through houses. They seem to avoid some, but that seems to be. But you don't know who lives in those houses, right?
Mm-hmm.
They do seem to be mostly avoiding the kin's homes, occasionally passing through, but not with the same level of frequency, as it seems like they are not as a choice of a target or as easy of a target.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
All right. Meanwhile, Zeb, as you move through, you see the kind of like fumelings and various creatures of radiation moving every which direction, creatures of light, dripping vitriol, and kind of green gunk that sizzles onto the spiritual floor, grabbing animal spirits and holding them as the spirits scream as they grow extra heads, tumors, or various other mutations to turn them into banes.
Is this like an open, gaping wound, essentially, in creation from this nuke strike?
Not quite, because NORAD has held up to it. It's more of like a burning on top of the mountain itself. So the dome is kind of like cracked. The mountain is kind of cracked with the trees in perpetual green flames. And the green flames spit out fumelings. And then when the tree seems to finally get ready to burn down, one of the larger ones collapses from the embers, and the full flames create a body of radiation and hatred.
How big are we talking, Keegan?
It would have a diameter of about 1,200 feet.
Okay. And this impacted on the mountain itself. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. What's this look like in the physical world? Looking across the gauntlet.
It's charred. The trees are knocked down, destroyed, ash. There's what the Japanese fishermen who were near Bikini Atoll referred to as death ash everywhere.
Right.
A quiet gray ash that is tasteless, smellless, but brings about death and cancer to those who linger too long. And you see several people in poorly maintained or poorly put on PPE trying to clean up some of the ash, while those who supervise them seem to have perfect equipment and it put on perfectly, managing them and making sure that they know which areas to clean up.
So there's roads that are coming in and out of this. And what time of day is it? This is daytime, right, when we got back?
Yeah, so it's probably like 3-4 in the afternoon.
Okay. Are there trucks and things that are moving out of here carrying materials?
Yes.
Okay. I want to take a look, Keegan, because I'm looking for sand and lead if they're bringing either one of those things in here. Because Zeb has an idea, but it depends on what's actually here.
What is Zeb's idea?
Zeb's idea essentially is that I know that there's a lead mine 2.5 hours away from here, and that he might be awakening a lead spirit and moving pieces of lead here to try to stop portions of this, and then fighting the actual gaping hole that's here using Cleanse the Blight and other guru powers, but at least having the function of what lead and possibly water do to try to do something about this nuclear cleanup.
Yeah, then yes, they are bringing lead and sand.
Okay. Alright, having seen enough, Zeb's going to go back to the Sept to essentially confer again with Fate Dancer about his plan, and when the others come back, he'll tell them what he intends to do.
Okay. So you all return after a couple hours. It's probably 6-7 at night after everything's said and done.
How are the kin?
They're surviving, but terrified.
Rattled and shaken. Water is a concern, but all in all, they're doing as best as they can.
As we've seen, the kin themselves seem to have been hit less by this. Even in the Umbra, the Banes seem to ignore their areas and properties more than the others. But still, the Umbra, Banes and Scrags abound. Spite, hatred, confusion, terror, fear. It's everywhere.
Do you think we're going to need to move them?
If things progressing the way they are, that's a possibility if something isn't done. And I have a proposition for the council, but it might be a harebrained scheme for the size of it all. I want to propose a rite of cleansing in the Umbra at the site itself.
The site where the strike occurred.
Correct.
Well, I'm glad that you and I are of one mind. My plan. There's lead being moved into that site, lead and sand. It would be to awaken a lead spirit to assist us in destroying what's there. Lead itself, right, absorbs radiation. The rite of cleansing might be insufficient only because I wonder about the use of fresh water. There is some water there that could still be used to our advantage to, again, slow down radiation for us to cleanse this blight, but also destroy what's there. And it's the hope that doing a thing that would need to be done for the strike, in addition to addressing the spiritual scar, would work to our advantage. What this means, though, is I want to be very careful about there are workers that are there right now. Or no, actually, I don't know that. I saw workers when I was there. I don't know if there's a night shift. If there is a night shift, then we're going to have to make sure we do this exclusively from the Umbra. If they don't have workers out there working around the clock, then we're going to have a little bit more to work with to try to get things right. I'm going to need help with people moving things like lead into position to try and awaken a spirit that's sufficient, and then actually move other physical materials. I don't have to tell you all the danger of this, and the last time that we were exposed to chemical and radiological damage required an entire separate operation for us to steal medicines from Magadan to treat our wounded. So the healing nature of our bodies only works so far when it comes to this type of exposure. But that is a elaboration on your plan, Mark, but that is how I think we should proceed. Do any of you have any questions or contributions to the possibility of that plan?
No, I think that's a good exposition. I agree.
All right, if there's anything protective that you can scavenge when we get closer there, attempt to try and do it. And if we happen to know any can, hell, call any and find out if anyone we know that was actually forced to go up there and work, maybe make use of their things. But let's prepare ourselves to head back that way. Perform this part of the rite, and then, like I said, in the physical world, I'm going to need help moving some of that material forward to where we need it. It'll be dangerous and would be deadly for any other group of people. But this is probably the biggest threat to the Sept. Those banes that are affecting our people. I mean, fighting hate's what we do on a daily basis, right? But this one's one that we can't just leave festering, or it will destroy the Sept. And the power of people being terrified of nuclear holocaust makes it to where the future gets mighty murky, and then that damages our patron that is here, that makes this place what it is. So let us reconvene in 1 hour, and we will make our way back up to the site and have a look to make sure there aren't too many people, and then we can decide how we proceed. But you have the vaguest portion of a plan right now. Do what you must, and let's reconvene.
All right. So what are y'all doing?
I don't even know how to prep for something like this.
Being anything but Hamid.
Well, yeah, like when we're there, of course. Man, I don't want to walk through the city like this. Or like that.
We'll probably take the Umbra to get pretty close, and then at that point, wherever we appear in that desolate landscape, just depending on what it looks like, but yeah.
Would this be the time to activate gifts?
Yeah, probably.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I know it's mentioned, like, maybe reaching out to people that might have worked there to see if we can get, like, the PPE and safety equipment from them, but that's not something that they would just let people take home, right?
I have no idea if they're able to steal it or make something out of nothing. If we can get some, great, because my only thought is if one of you has to drive a truck and you have to fit into said truck, that limits us just a little bit.
I'm thinking we might have to steal it, because that sort of like equipment would be contaminated.
Fair enough.
But at the very least, I have resist toxin, but
that will make you immune completely.
Yeah. Dimitri will help carry the lead. And then if there's anything he can do, like telling us, singing a song or telling a story to help Zeb with summoning and convincing the spirit to help, he'll do that too.
Okay.
So other than movement, I guess we can go around the horn just in saying whatever gifts we want to activate, knowing that, right, you're not going to necessarily be doing that shit in public.
Yeah.
But once we get there.
Yep. So, let's just start from the top. Dimitri, what gifts are you activating?
My resist toxin is always on, but
yep.
I guess Dimitri will have Trash's treasure handy if we get a hold of any equipment that is damaged or incomplete.
Okay. Is that a scene-long gift?
I would have to Actually, I would have to double check that. I want to say it lasts a number of turns, but
Okay, so you might want to hold off on that until you actually find the thing.
yeah.
All right. Any other gifts, Dimitri?
That's everything that I can think of.
Okay. Cora, what gifts are you activating?
I'm thinking maybe Master of Fire, just in case something explodes
Okay.
with, all that we're doing.
Sure. Makes sense.
I don't want to activate Might of Thor yet, since,
Yep.
that's only going to last for a specific amount of time, and I don't roll very well. I can't make it last like a day or something.
No one
and
could.
then
It's a number of turns equal to successes on a willpower roll.
I know. But I can't really think of anything else that I have that would really help move all of this material that we need to move.
Okay. William, what gifts are you activating?
There's two. One is less to help move and more to help communicate, which is just speech of the world. But I don't know if that's going to be necessarily required. But I can also just activate that at any time, I believe. And then the other would be agriculture, which is just to help, flora grow in this area, which might help naturally heal the area, which is more long term.
Okay. Zeb, what are you activating? Oh, sorry. Do you have anything else, William?
No.
Alright. Alright, Zebulon, what are you doing?
I'm activating Spirit Ward, Spirit Vessel, and then both my Scar Fetish and Spirit Whistle fetishes.
So, looks like 5 successes on the Spirit Ward. No successes on the Spirit Vessel. 2 successes on your Scar Fetish.
And I will mulligan the Spirit Vessel here in 1. So Spirit Whistle is the Gnosis roll that basically has it's a contested roll that makes all spirits within an area flee. But this is the mulligan roll for Spirit Vessel.
Alright, 2 successes.
There we go. The 2 powers that I will be channeling will be Cleanse the Blight and Armor.
Perfect. Okay. And then finally,
What?
Mark.
Yeah. I will be spending a Gnosis for Unicorn's Arsenal, a Willpower for Resist Pain, another Gnosis for Luna's Armor, and I'll make that roll right now. So 1 for Luna's Armor. Then I will spend another Gnosis for Spirit Ward. And 4 successes on Spirit Ward.
Alright. Looks good. Alright, so with that, you guys start heading out that way. What's the plan?
Once we get out that way, Keegan, that's where we're going to look for lead for these guys to help kind of... Okay, well, 1, let's look for people that are here.
Sure.
If there are a bunch of workers that are still doing contamination, then that's step 1.
So, you get there at about 9 at night. There are no more workers working on decontamination, though there are, at a good safe distance away, blocked off roads, soldiers blocking the area off from anyone entering. And the military base is still being used as a military base, but only with essential personnel, obviously. Gotta protect the Stargate somehow. Alright,
then rather than physically moving it might be a matter of awakening spirits of sand and lead that we know are deposits in the physical world to have them assist us here, rather than moving anything around out there with the military all around. Alright, we'll start with the Spirit of Lead, Keegan, knowing it's late at night. And for everyone else, so what Zeb would ask for Dimitri is, stories, or if you're going to do anything, a story of, brave people doing, something in desperate times never goes amiss. And we'll get this started, and the rest of y'all, if you want to help, great. If you want to go look around and do stuff, that's fine too. Zeb will spend a little bit of time to do this, since we need to make sure that it's something strong enough to actually assist with something so bad. So what I will ask is, what level of spirit would Zeb need to successfully awaken to make this happen? Well, I guess I'm just awakening it in general. So
yeah, you'd just be awakening it in general. Yeah.
Okay. All right. My target is its base rage, Keegan. What would be the base rage here? But I'm trying to awaken. I mean, I thought it might be comparable to like a Earth Spirit, but
yeah, it would be. We'll just use the Earth Spirit.
Okay. I think it's a 4.
Yeah, it's 4.
All right. Well, 1.
1. So, spirit has been awoken as the lead, bricks and things like that panels start to come to life in the Umbra. They give a slow kind of yawn.
Who has summoned me?
Guru have summoned you, cousin. Gaia's flesh has been ripped by flame, and you are needed desperately. It is the flame that man has pulled from the rock.
I see. What do you require of me?
Protect us, cousin, so we might battle this disgusting creature and make Gaia safe.
I can do that. I will give you strength, for there is something hidden behind the flames.
The fire beneath the mountain, cousin?
Something I don't quite know. It is there, though. It is pulsing, hidden, but soon hidden no longer. Soon all will see it.
How will we know that we have found it?
It will reveal itself to you, for the hiding is over.
Zeb's making the assumption that this is what, or part of what Owl has charged them to do as the last duty for their patron. Can I roll to see if Zeb can suss this out or understand what he's talking about?
He can try. We'll do Intelligence Occult. I'm gonna go Diff 9.
Nope.
So can't suss it out. Not exactly yet.
The cleansing is likely the first step, cousin.
Very well. Keegan, Zeb will supply him with a gnosis.
Okay.
To fortify us, cousin. We will need your help. To the rest, all right, we're gonna need sand and water if we can move it this way. You heard what he said, so I'm not going to repeat that part. Whatever is behind this, if we want to get to it to understand it, even if it's revealed later, the first part, like he said, is this. This is where I think about the cleansing part between using sand and water to try and put this down. And I will attempt cleansing the blight first before we do anything else, because I just don't know that Rite of Cleansing will do much more, but there will probably be other Banes that are going to come up, so once we start, that's why I don't want to do the Rite of Cleansing. If we start doing that, it attracts fucking everything.
Right.
To cleanse the blight part first will give you all time to handle some of the Banes that might pop up just in our immediate, and we can work our way in. Does this sound good?
Sounds good.
So, looking across the physical world, how close are there, I mean, I know it's a working military base, I understand that. Is there anything in the immediate periphery that we can make use of that we could get a little bit closer to where this site is? Or is it just too many people, too many guards?
No, actually, there are some. You can start from the back end of the mountain. So all the guards are on one face, right where the entrance into the actual mountain is.
Okay. So Zeb will point that out, having looked across the gauntlet to let them know that, and to bring some things forward here, and then he will attempt to cleanse the blight from that. And the rule for this charm, Keegan, is that the difficulty depends on the strength of the blight, which I'm assuming is pretty freaking strong, because it's a nuke blast.
Well, it's also fresh, so.
But yeah, it doesn't say what the difficulty is. It literally is storyteller dependent.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say it's actually closer to 7, because it's a fresh blast, right? The fallout is still happening.
Right. No, fair enough. So that's why Zeb's going to make use of whatever materials we have, plus the lead spirit, to assist in trying to moderate this to see if he can be a little more successful.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Fucking do that. All right. So 2 successes on the. No, I have more than that. 2, 3, 4.
Plus 1.
Okay, 3 successes. That time it actually did the math. All right. So cool. 3 successes on the for cleanse the blight on the first roll, key.
Cool. So you cleanse the blight. So, and that's the right, or is that that's the gift? I'm sorry.
That's the spirit charm.
That's the spirit charm. Got it.
Correct.
So you do get some purging. So you've decreased the size of the blight slightly. So it is retracted to a diameter of about 600 feet now, regarding if you try and do the rite of cleansing.
Right, and I might. Can I make another attempt with the power, or am I done here now and this is where we have to go to try to do the right?
You can do one more, but the difficulty will increase because you're getting closer to where the actual blast was, right? The kernel of it.
Okay. Alright, this is like the law of large numbers risk, y'all. Do I try to do that diff 8 roll and risk fucking this up? Or do we just try to start moving supplies in and try to do the rite of cleansing? I am willing to take player input on this out of character to not, fuck up the game.
Well, there's always risk it for the biscuit.
Well, yeah, okay.
I'd say diff 8 would be worth it. If it was higher than that, I'd say we should work with what we've got.
All right.
Yeah, and you're rolling 9 dice, so statistically.
Well, oh boy, don't you do that to me. Don't you do that to me, Gorgeous George.
Knock on wood. Every single one of us knock on wood right now.
Okay. So I didn't botch, but I didn't succeed. So, all right.
Yeah.
So, all right. Oh, see? There we go. That was close. That's why we just had zero successes. Is okay. All right. So I guess we'll move supplies in to attempt the rite of cleansing on this, Keegan. And
all right.
Some of us should probably then post up Cora, William, as guards, because we're going to attract attention when we start this. Howls-In-Memory can choose their fate however they want to, but Mark and Zeb will attempt the right. And if you want to roll, Adam, that's fine by me.
Will do, Zeberino. I mean, Sean, since we're players.
Perfect. So the difficulty is the same, so this kernel is, let me go to the rights.
That's a mystic rite, so I think it's which rolls?
Check. It's if it is mystic, it's witch rituals, and I'm checking the difficulty.
I think it's actually an accord rite, isn't it?
Oh yeah, actually, let me just look it up. Rite of accord, actually. Yeah, you're right. So that would
charisma rituals.
Okay, charisma rituals. Got it.
All right. So the taint is higher than the blight. So because they're different things. A blight is a very specific spiritual realm. So the taint here is going to be difficulty 9.
Okay.
And I believe this rite requires at least 3 people to be involved.
All right, so there's Howls-In-Memory. Sorry, man, but that gives him that doesn't give him a bonus. That's just the base.
No, it's
all
every additional 3
bumps
decreases the difficulty.
As we're preparing for the ritual, Mark will be pulling out his reagents needed for it, and he'll look over at Howls-In-Memory and be like, well, think about it here. You can think of a song, how the brave Arun fended off the Banes as the Thurges and, Galliard, cleansed the land.
Mark, did you really just forget I'm a Galliard?
It's the radiation.
Sure it is.
As he begins scratching the various scars from head trauma on his head.
Yeah, Dimitri will pitch in and help with the ritual for sure.
All right, so you guys start performing the ritual. Cora, William, as you see the fumelings starting to combine, as they sense the rite starting to happen, they start to form as you see kind of like a multi-legged creature that vaguely resembles a human with flesh constantly slopping off as it's howling in pain, as you hear like little voices screaming for help, agony as chunks just slop off and regrow with little small fingers of muscle and sinew trying to connect and grasp each other, as you hear like the small hands and the mouths in there screaming for love and not letting go before another piece sloughs off and strikes the earth, burning away as it looks at you. Its all too human-like head, though smoother and slightly round, opens with its perfectly square teeth in a row as it screams in agony as teeth fall from its mouth and regrow with every breath and shiver. How you distracting this thing or fighting this thing?
Just fight it.
I was going to... At this point, does it count as one enemy?
Yes.
Sick. I would like to true fear it.
Perfect. What's the difficulty on that?
Enemy willpower.
Cool. Diff 8.
Diff 8. Awesome. So, D4, D14, D10, T8, F1.
That is...
They're cowed for.
Okay, I did the math right. So, they're cowed for 1 round.
Yeah.
Alright, perfect. As the creature kind of shivers and screams, what is your willpower, Cora?
My willpower is 7.
Wonderful, thank you.
What am I willpowering against? Would you like to know? Whatever it was, it didn't hurt me.
That's 5 successes.
No, it did. That is 5 successes. Never mind. I just saw the 5 and I'm like, ha! 5 versus 7, but that's not how it goes.
No.
What happens to me?
So as you start to convulse, right? You start getting visions as all the faces that are screaming and sloughing off are people you love, including your packmates, Eleanor, your parents, friends from a different life, Stephen, everyone, as the slough pieces and the screams and the grasping hands reach out. You now, for the next 4 turns, will take... for the next 3 turns, you will take a -4 penalty to everything from mental distress.
Ooh. I don't like that.
As the big face with the overly square teeth starts to resemble your own face as it's cowering in fear and ripping off the chunks of the faces on it.
Gross.
William, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I will take over the true fear.
Oh, you're going to do your own?
Well, I was going to attack it if it's still the same turn. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, it is the same
and claw
turn.
the shit out of it.
Cool.
So I will claw the shit out of it.
Cool. God in heaven. 7 successes on that. 8 die soak. Alright, you do not succeed. But now, William, I do need a soak roll. Difficulty 6, please.
That doesn't sound good.
William, you take 2 points of aggravated damage as you start to feel queasy and radiation sickness is starting to set in as the creature is deeply radioactive. While this is all happening, Mark, let us get your rite of cleansing roll. Alright, you just barely succeed as you're moving through, which is good, as the creature takes 5 points of damage from Zeb's spirit ward, and then you put up your own spirit ward, and that one got, I think, 3 successes? 4?
4 successes.
So it took another 9 points of damage. As the green flames stop, they start to disappear in the umbra, and they congeal and create a pillar of light that shoots straight up into the heavens, marking something. Now, Zeb, you may make another intelligence occult roll. Difficulty 6. Wonderful. So, this is a crack in the umbra to a den realm that has been placed here. So there is something in there. As the spirit that you guys are facing looks and sees it and starts to run that way.
And so this congealed. The pillar appeared. Right. Mark's ritual was successful.
Yep.
What is that? So then that's what that became. So this
Yep.
this radioactive piece turned into this pillar.
Yep. So
And
not the beast, the actual like taint
The actual light, right? The actual taint, right?
was wiped out, and then this pillar of light shoots off to the heavens. Yeah. And that pillar of light seems to be the unmasked gateway into a den realm that was hidden for possibly centuries, and is now revealed because of the nuclear device and the taint being removed.
Right. The only thought is, now do we take a trip?
I would like to know what a den realm is. I don't
It's
remember
a
hearing
smaller
that.
pocket realm in the Umbra. You've been to them before.
Oh,
They're not
that,
full
like, the-
realms, but they're smaller versions of that.
Gotcha. Okay,
Like in
so
the
like
near
the one that we went to with the alternate universe.
That's
Shit.
a very specific version of it.
Okay, but it's similar.
Similar. Like, there was one where you got, like, the one where you had to dance your way through because it was a realm of rhythm. Because it was so very specific, but small.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where we got super high.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Let's take a
guess-
trip.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess
Alright.
we can go on a field trip.
All right. So you guys run. You jump in, and before you is a great mountain, honeycombed, as you see the radioactive spirit that has also run in, running with fear and trying to look for something. You'll have to chase it, or defeat it.
I mean, yeah. Why not? Why not both? So definitely
Yeah.
chase this thing down and harass it with Spirit Ward, and then fucking destroy it. Yeah.
All right. So you guys will do that, but that is a story for next time.
Oh shit, it's already 8.
Thank you to everyone who listened. We'll catch you at that next episode. Bye.
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 See you then.
Bye.